Season's greetings, one and all. It is time of recording is 8:15, Thursday, December 19th, year of our Lord, 2024. And as of 3+ hours ago, I am on vacation until January 6th. You know what that means? Make City Make Spence time. So, not alone, as always. First off, the man behind all the production, I've sent him, 3 videos, Mulligan's alone this week. We've done the 451 Christmas special. Spoilers, it was batshit. And he's had a new computer update. So, you've had an eventful week.
Yeah.
It's Adam Hernandez. You didn't say his name.
You didn't say my name. Say my name.
Say his name.
It's Adam. It's Adam.
Yeah, it's well, actually, I guess technically I have 2 more days of work left. I have tomorrow and then Monday. So, and then I'll be off until the 6th. So yeah, that's fun. Good. Yeah.
Party.
That's cool.
And of course, the man behind Make City Make Spence, the namesake, the writer of the Words About Shapes, Patreon 3 doll hairs, all these fine things, and keeper of the pizza mines, Sean Spence. How are you this evening?
I am okay. I had a busy day in the mines, so yeah.
I know, I hate saying that because I know Sean is probably gonna be working his ass off over.
I am
the holidays in the mines. I don't want to go
all
on
the people who have
time
off and are like, man, let's get some pizza. Like that's I'm on the other end of that call.
So let's save the
let me just on behalf of Domino's employees everywhere, let me encourage folks when they order pizza from Domino's to use the online ordering, okay? Because Domino's does not staff to have people answer the phone anymore. So when you call me during the day, I have to stop making food to talk to you. Which means that if somebody so like in the old days they had more staff. But because their margins were larger, and they had to answer the phone. Now online ordering, they're like, well, okay, you can just handle it yourself, right? So use the online form. Thank you.
Thank you. No, I genuinely thank you, Sean, for mentioning that because I didn't know that. I didn't know that they didn't staff extra, for answering phones. So I will now order online whenever, wherever I can.
It's the people who call with an order that's no big deal, but it's the people who call and go, so what's good? Like, bro, I do not have time for an expansive conversation with you. I was a waiter at a sit-down restaurant for 15 years. I can talk to you about food for a long time, but I can't right now because other people's food is sitting over there not being made, and you hear all those beeping sounds. That's the alarm saying this food isn't being made. Anyway.
Okay, but seriously though, who calls up a pizza place asking what's good?
Baby boomers.
Oh my God. It's the same type of people that call up asking for directions. Like I can't take the people calling up asking for directions.
Last week I diatribed about Detroit City supporters. This week we're diatribing about baby boomers that call and ask questions about what they should get on the menu.
Right. Like, I mean, like I get it, but you need to understand the world which the greediness and selfishness of your generation has created, which is every business in the world is cut to the bone. No one has time to sit and flap their fucking gums at you. Like, look online at the available resources, which are free and available worldwide, and then call me once you know what you want.
Preach, Sean.
Anyway,
you want to know who's got the time right now to gab about all things Detroit City FC right now? The 3 of us.
We do, yeah, exactly.
Oh, we're moving on to that.
Garrett's like, okay, time's up.
Well, no, it's just a hell of a fucking segue right here, guys. Yeah. It's magic. This is the beauty of like not knowing what entirely we're all going to be saying. So, believe it or not, folks, we are less than 48 hours away until the start of the MASLW indoor season. Fuck, time's gone by quick. It's like, oh my God. Detroit City FC's ladies start off this Saturday on the road. They take on Kalamazoo United December 21st. Kickoff, as I am looking here, at 7:30 p.m. in Portage, which is where Kalamazoo United. Adam may be quick to remind me that this is not the Kalamazoo side that I would like to see here in MASLW. Right. For those that are wondering why, go check out 451 last year and my befuddlement of Zoo City being in Kalamazoo as opposed to what I thought was Toledo.
Still one of the greatest fuck ups ever.
That is every time. God, I forgot about that. As you're talking about, I'm like, what is he? Oh my God, right.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's wild. Home opener, January 4th, 2 weeks from 2 weeks from today, and we welcome, as I switch from the MASLW site over to the club website because I like their layout on here. Here we go. The Iowa Demon Hawks. I think that's how I feel like, it should be read as. I feel like it's like some crazy jacked out 80s ad with like flares and like this.
Demon Hawks. That is in
Iowa.
Yeah, I want to. That's like, what challenge rating is that monster? In D&D, it's probably like a 4th level monster. You're gonna if you get a 1st level party, the Demon Hawks are gonna fuck you up.
What evangelist?
Panic in Iowa.
What evangelist baby boomer in Iowa is clutching their pearls right now at the name Iowa Demon Hawks?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. There's gonna be tons of satanic panic in Iowa over that.
I'm just wondering if maybe like that. Maybe they took the name advisedly. Like, okay, we're gonna help these people self-select in a different direction. We're the Demon Hawks. Yes, we definitely worship demons. Yes, that is absolutely a thing we do. We are a group of women who worship demons.
Maybe they had a vote though, Sean, and maybe it was like tied, and they decided, well, since it's tied,
it was like between the demon deacons and the Hawks, and they like just dropped the deacons part. Yeah, I mean, the schedule looks like a league schedule where we play every Saturday, and half of them are home or half of them are away. Like it's not like we're playing 70% of them at home. Yeah. And I hope it stands up. The concern with these things obviously is that they don't last. They fall apart in the middle of the season, like kind of the league did last year. So hopefully, this is on a more solid footing since they're with the MASL.
The interesting thing that I'm noticing with this schedule is it's a home and away, but we're playing one team 4 times, Iowa Demon Hawks. One team 3 times, Kalamazoo United, who are in Portage. 2 away, 1 home. Indiana United twice, 1 home, 1 away. And West Shore Ambition, who, what were they called last year? They were the team that had the president that carried over to MASLW in the fancy suit and the coach that wore a cape.
Great Lakes.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
That was Great Lakes something. What are they called now? West Michigan Ambition?
West Shore Ambition.
Oh, West Shore? Is it West Shore Ambition?
Yeah. Man, I want to say that like an 8-ball went down that night. That they were thinking that up. Like, bro, West Shore Ambition. That's totally us. It's us. Like, okay. Fill in the form. Yeah.
Reformed church baby boomers in Grand Rapids, holding on to their clogged shoes.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Garrett, is the club that they made cry last year back?
That was Zoo City.
Oh, that was Zoo City? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
That's we may have put pay to their indoor aspirations.
Great tagline, great cue, Adam, because I think it's a good point to talk about the roster of the Detroit City FC, who many last year were on that side that made Zoo City cry in January of 2024, 11-2, if I recall that scoreline correctly. One of a few times, 4, 5 times that Detroit City put double digits on, and that was before we even did 31 total goals we scored against was a flow. Shout out to former interviewee of the Mulliting interviewee subject, and Dominic Scaluna. Shout out, thanks for the time. And also the free ticket to get into Waza last year for that 16-0 loss to us. Sean Spence, you have the roster in front of you. You want?
I do. Okay, so I mean, obviously a ton of continuity, including some surprising ones. We kept hearing that Gabby was going to retire, but she's rostered. If she wants to play, she's great. So that's good news. Okay, so carryovers from previously. Shannon McCarthy, I don't think she played with us last year, or did she?
She did.
She did. All right. So Shannon McCarthy, Tatiana Mason, Maya Romeo, Megan Miles, Kayla Addison, Katie Coleman, Isabella Zabo, Hannah Crum, Fatima Nasser, Elisa Barron, Danny Steffen, Claire Cerlino, Amanda Britton. I think Alex Defend played a little bit. That like 2/3, maybe even 3/4 of the roster is returners from a team that really just got a load of momentum and steamrolled almost everyone last year. Mm-hmm. They're not going to have that bedding in period where they're kind of like, how does this work again? Now they're ready. Like, okay, it's year 2. We know what we're doing. Let's go get it. The new players, I mean, we've got some, like Summer Green is here and looks to me to be kind of a ringer. She played for Celtic, like Glasgow Celtic.
Not Cannon Celtic, not
Cannon Celtic, not Genesee County. I'm talking about Glasgow Celtic. I don't think she ever scored in league play, but she like won a cup match with a free kick goal. So she's keeping in shape and coming. Basically, she's been overseas for a few years, and she's coming home. Remember who? Some of them are
years old too.
Yeah, she's an experienced player. Nikki Hoff is somebody who used to work for the club.
She's a footballer in her own right.
Yes, she is. I'll be interested to see what Nikki brings. Some of these women I do not know a lot about. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of throw the names out here: Jennifer Panergo, Karina Medina, Emily Matson, and Anya Dow. I don't know much about those women. They're kind of new. I think Anya Dow is maybe slightly older. I think she maybe hasn't played much since college, and the college has been a few years ago, 6 years ago or something. But was a goal scoring forward when she played. I'm looking through the list again. I'm interested that we have like several goalkeepers listed. We've got Kirsten Williams, obviously Gabby, but also Allison Lapointe, who I think has been a backup for us before, and Kirsten Williams, who so 3 on the roster. So I think we might see a little more rotation this year in the goal. Not Gabby not playing every moment, especially if we're clubbing people. Like, there's no reason to make Gabby play every minute when we're up, 8 goals halfway through the game.
One thing also know for people that want to see the roster right now, go to the MASLW website.
Right.
This is where you currently see the Detroit City FC MASL side on here. I know it looks like the club's in the process of adding it to their website from what last taking a look at on the layout. That would also probably, I would think too, we'd be close to whatever the kit reveal is going to be, because I know there are special kits too, and
I think they know to make more of them this year, that people will buy them.
There is popular demand. So for those that are wondering, what are going to be the home games to go to for Detroit City Fieldhouse? Unless you really want to go to Portage for Kalamazoo United, Indiana for Indiana United, or one of the 2 times for the Iowa Demon Hawks. The home matchup, January 4th, for Iowa Demon Hawks, January 18th, Kalamazoo United, February 8th, Indiana United, February 15th, West Shore Ambition, and March 1st for Iowa Demon Hawks. So these are the home matchups at Detroit City Fieldhouse. Tickets are $5, and you can get them on the Detroit City FC website. 7:30 start times also for these kickoffs at Detroit City.
I would say that if you don't know and you haven't been to a match before, you probably want to buy your tickets online. They sell out pretty quickly, and there's just not that much capacity. It's pretty easy to get it jammed with like 450 people, and that's it. Yep. So the other thing is the season runs pretty late. Like this will flow right into the USLW season. For a lot of these,
it'll flow into the men's season.
Also, some of the W League season as
they start getting together and working out around the end of March. You know.
Oh yeah, Interesting.
Another thing too, if you're unable to go to games, Detroit City's FC's YouTube should have the home matchups. I know if it's based off of protocol from last year. Yeah. MASLW does have a YouTube page. MASL does, and I think that'll include the W League of stream where you can check out games, including I would believe Saturday's game in Portage at Cal United. I know that's the link on there. I haven't checked to see if they've made any streams in advance for hey, get ready to go to this yet, but we have a couple days to see if that's actually going to thing or if shit's going to be fucking weird. Do we have any closing thoughts to wrap up MASLW thoughts other than these women are going to kick ass and I'm here for it?
Yeah, I mean, I am, we watched them last year all kind of come to grips with how this game is played. It's a pretty distinct style from outdoor football, right? And it took everybody a while. But the main thing is I think that I have a hard time believing that we aren't going to do very well because of the depth. We've got a lot of really good players, and the way you sub in this, it looks a lot like hockey. You kind of do line changes. There's free subs. You can go in and out. So
blue card, Sean.
What's that?
Blue cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, blue cards, exactly. They're blue cards, which are sin bin. You get sent off for a couple minutes. There's it's a really interesting and distinct thing, and I think that we're unlikely to have that kind of the teething problems that we had at the beginning of last year, which really those were only losses. And I'm very interested to see how we do. Some of these are.
I have a couple of questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Sean. No, go ahead. I have a couple of questions for you, but go ahead and finish what you're saying.
Some of these are fairly new, but not really. I mean, these are it's not Demon Hawks we don't know much about, right? But West Shore was somebody we kind of played last year. They just got to change the name. They're probably, change ownership or something. Indiana United, I think, is that group from South Bend, right? That we smoked an outdoor. That
Michigan Alliance side?
I think it's the same folks, maybe. I don't know, maybe not. Hammond, maybe not. Okay. Anyway, I'm using my region knowledge there. Hammond is close to, but it's not that close. So probably not the same people. But we played Indiana United. I was with the guys, right? Weren't they Indiana United for a couple of those years?
Are they part of that MPSL beatdown crew we've done?
Yeah. Yes, that's what I'm thinking of. I think is the.
Or is that I thought that was Indiana. I thought that was Indiana FC.
Oh, was it FC? Was it just Indiana FC?
Was it the corn? Anyway, it was the cornfield.
Anyway, yeah, the cornfield guys. Yeah, were they the dude was the dude was over the yelling at our supporters over the broadcast, over the the announcement, the PA at the thing. So that's fun. I think it's tremendously fun. It's a great party. Get out here, get a couple drinks, and watch us just thrash team after team with an incredibly deep and talented roster.
Sean, watching, I mean, obviously last year was the first year that they did this. Two-part question for you. How much of an impact do you really think that, because there's a little bit of, there's a little bit of a connection between, well, not a little bit, there's quite a bit of connection between the indoor team and the outdoor side, the W League team. How much do you think that actually helped the W League team last year? Do you think did it help at all? Did it?
I
was it significant? What do you think?
I think it was, and it's in a fairly familiar way for Detroit City supporters, because one of the secrets to City's success when they were a short season team is that they had a group of veterans who lived in the area and kind of played together all year round and really knew each other and had an established like culture, vibe, pecking order. And so having to create those things out of whole cloth can take some time, and you can get it wrong as a coaching staff. Sometimes someone seems like a big leader, but they've got some emotional fragility or something you don't know about. And you got to reverse course. They don't have to do any of that. Like, they didn't have to do any of that. They rolled right into, all of the veterans were in fantastic form and great moods and ready to keep rolling. And then we added like a shitload of really mind-blowing talent to a good structure, and you can see what it does. That was a really impressive outdoor team, I think, last year, and I think a lot of it, beating Flint in the first game. I think I don't know if we do that if we're still trying to figure out, if we don't know that, okay, Gabby is the captain and probably the intellectual leader of this team, and the experienced players knew each other and knew how they wanted to play together, and then made incredible competition for the top talents who came in, who wound up taking a huge amount of the playing time, right? Hannah Crum didn't get many starts, even though she's very good, because she'd have to displace Aubrey Chiampa or what's her name from Minnesota?
Sophia Romine.
Sophia Romine. And so sometimes you get the bear, sometimes the bear gets you. It was it was a competition, and it just makes everybody better. So I think this is a tremendously important piece of the puzzle, and a way to kind of move toward one of City's goals of being a lifetime club. And here's women who are local, and in any other scenario probably are done playing competitive football. Really, they might be playing, they're playing, pickup ball, or they're playing in the DCFL or whatever. And instead they kind of get a run and do something different, and I just think this is the kind of thing that City needs to do, right? We need to make football for everyone, it's I love it. And the fact that the women started it kind of themselves, that they were like, look, we need more ball. Yeah, you fucking do.
It would have been for Waza or something like that.
Right. Yeah, maybe. Or the thing, it's it makes a big difference having being organized, having a space of your own. I wonder whether whether a lot of these players would play if it was okay, I guess I can go play for Waza, or go play for a much less organized group, right? They might not keep going, right? They might go this, if you feel like the group isn't at your level, okay, I'm spinning my wheels. What am I going to do?
What about Shannon McCarthy too? Played on the team last year on the indoor team. was with the outdoor team. Was that her first year in W League?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. She left. She was playing for Flint because she was coaching for Hawks.
She's coaching the Michigan Hawks, or with the Michigan Hawks too. Right. So there's that connection. Do you think, Sean, that there's a chance that maybe she also returns for the W League team? Do you think there'd be a spot for her? What do you think about?
Like, there's probably always a spot for Shannon. She is an incredible athlete and a uniquely physical approach to the game that you don't see from a lot of women. Like, she wants to get into your body, like she wants to like smash you, and that's really useful in various situations. Like, I think that, as long as she wants to play, she probably could be rostered for almost any USLW team. And yeah, I think there's a pretty decent chance she comes back if she wants to, if she wants to play outdoor, I think she probably would come back. I don't think there was any hard feelings or anything, It's just like, well, it's like your day job is now opening a club. So, well, I guess I'm going over there now. What are you gonna do? Yeah,
there's no Michigan Hawks affiliated USLW league team anymore, is there?
No, yeah. That's what we understand is that Flint is no more, and that basically their place is being taken by the Macomb Union.
Yep.
Yeah. Garrett's new favorite.
How dare you? Just as
MUTID, baby.
Anyway, on to Reigns of Dominance, continuing the stride of dominance. Detroit City FC's men can start off their USL Championship season schedule announced earlier today for 2025 with dominance. If it last year's indication of the Miami FC is carries over to 2025. Yes, the season for the men was at 78 days away. Fucking woof.
God damn it.
Yeah.
There's too much football.
I'm still not over that penalty kick loss to Tampa.
So, yeah. Okay, so I just want to, before we get too far away,
still bitching about Maxi on podcasts.
I just want to remind you that Miami did win their opener.
Yes,
last year. Like, they won 3 matches all season, but they won their fucking opener. So we can't
Colorado Springs.
Yeah, we can't roll into that big balling, hey Miami, okay.
You want to know what's funny is that this past season we played Colorado Springs in Colorado Springs on March 16th, who then lost their second game in a row of the season to us. Almost 1 year to the day, but 1 year to the weekend, March 15th in 2025, we go back to Colorado Springs. Last year they won a championship after starting the season with 5 losses, which tells you anything can happen in this fucking league. Fact for Detroit City FC, a lot of the first half of the season, which is unlike the last 2 years, 30 regular season games. So you play East and West. You play East and West, most of the West. For Detroit City FC, they'll play Eastern Conference home and away, as we've come to know and expect. We'll play 8 of the Western Conference teams, and the 4 games that were originally the remaining teams in the West will be the group stages of the Jägermeister League Cup.
Yes.
So those League Cup group games are April 26th at home to the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. And then May 31st, a trip to Maine to take on Portland Hearts of Pine. June 28th, Saturday, a trip to Hartford, Connecticut to take on Hartford Athletic.
Yay.
And then July 20th, home to Westchester SC.
Wow.
Those are your 4 group stage games. But Detroit City in the first half of this season has 5 league home games. Starting in July, it is a very dominant schedule.
Yeah, it's wild. like it's the kind of schedule you usually get when you have like availability problems at your venue, but I don't think there's any of that. So maybe other people have availability problems at some point, and that's why we got like it's a very away heavy first half. Now, if we can get through the first half and be in good shape in the standings, that portends well, right? Because coming down the stretch, we're at home, we're at home, we're at home, we're at home. Like we're at home a lot, and don't really even like we take. After July, we don't have 2 weeks in a row on the road until the last 2 weeks of the season.
Charleston and Bay. Right.
So, I mean, that's a big deal. Like doing one match and then coming home and having a home match the next week, it's fine. Like you get the recovery in. But like anytime you're traveling 2-3 weeks in a row, you're probably starting to kind of the recovery is getting harder and harder to work in. You're not coming home generally, or you're coming home for like a day and a half, and then you're back on the bus, back to the airport. So it's hard. It's hard on your body. So I if we can get through the first half of the season and be in the playoff positions, then I feel like we have to feel really good about it.
Another thing, too, only 2 midweek games in USL Championship League play this year.
Yeah.
One home, and actually both, by the look likes here, I believe, are away days of memory. So the Rhode Island away day at Tidewater Stadium on August 6th, and then September 10th at New Mexico United. I'm looking at this first run of matches. Including the first League Cup match. So this is March 8th to May the 3rd. So you're at Miami, at Colorado Springs. The home opener seems to be tradition now in the USL Championship, the 3rd weekend in March. No different this year, March 22nd. Birmingham Legion come to Keyworth. They're going to be fucking miserable.
Yes, they are.
I remember they were here because they were here.
They won't be alone.
Huh?
They won't be alone being miserable.
Oh no, it's gonna fucking suck. So that's March 22nd. Louisville away March 29th. Monterey Bay home to Keyworth on April 5th. That's going to be around the same temperature they're used to, anyways. Phoenix Rising away April 12th. The Maxi Rodriguez return match. Adam has circled this match on his calendar.
April 19th.
Stars on it. He might need his own personal security detail. All of that stuff. April 19th. Keyworth.
Well, I wanted the lads from Rhode Island. I just want you to know when you come to town, you're really close to 420, and weed is legal here. So if you want to, get with it, you're going to be in town for it.
Hey, you want to know what's also great about that, Sean? That's Easter weekend too.
Oh my God!
So Easter's on 420 this year.
Zombie Jesus Day.
It's Zombie Weed Jesus. Yeah, man. Yaman for Yahweh.
Okay, so we're completely off the rails. We've flipped and we are burning upside down in a ditch right now, but it's fine. It'll be fine.
Last week, April 26th, League Cup, Pittsburgh Riverhounds, and then May 3rd at Indy. Adam, what do we feel about Indy 11?
Hate Indy 11.
I thought you were going to say what we said on Tuesday.
I can't remember what we said on Tuesday. Sorry.
We said a lot of things on Tuesday. Hartford Athletic, May 10th. Birmingham Legion away May 17th before Charleston Battery are here Memorial Day weekend. One home match in June for the men relating to Pride Raiser. However, expect that to be a women-heavy match in June.
Seems like that's how it always is. I mean, there's men have always had like.
Yeah, it was that way this year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
the year before we had matches, but we couldn't score a goal.
Which, you know what? If we had a choice between having more women's matches at home in June over men's matches, I'd take more women's matches.
Yeah,
they score more goals. So
yeah, for sure.
Like, would we struggle to score goals in 2023 for the men against Orange County SC, or would you rather have the women take on like Ann Arbor and like everybody that you can expect 4 to 6 goals in the game? I'll take the latter all day. But then come June. Oh, go on, Sean.
I'm just I'm cognizant of the time and my limitations this evening. So go ahead. I
was going to say July is when the home matches really start to kick in. You start to see 3-4 in a row multiple times at Keyworth. The big stretch is 4 matches at home in September, end of August into September. So you first have a 3-game homestand: Tampa Bay Rowdies, San Antonio, Orange County, and then the second homestand, newcomers to USL Championship, Lexington SC, Louisville City, North Carolina, and Loudoun United. So I think to end the time discussion, because we still have a couple things we wanted to talk about for time, nothing's been set yet on times for these home matches. Be on the lookout for that, along with any other news related to the men's USL Championship side, rosters, etc. Anything else you guys want to add on that?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, good. What do we want to talk about next? Do we want to talk about the Crains piece from yesterday, and then save the our personal shout out to from Tuesday's news for last?
Sure. Yeah, let's talk about Crains. So those of you who don't know, Crains Business regularly has covered Detroit City as a business story for several years. Yesterday they published a story that talked about how much money the city has lost since becoming a USL Championship side. And gave us some numbers that can give us an ability to figure out what the rough payroll is. Because they say basically that they lost 2.7 million last year. They lost 2.2 million the year before that. And that they acknowledge that basically all arrows are up in every revenue stream, but that the delta revenue is not matching the delta payroll. That the payroll is more than half of their expenditure for the technical staff and the playing staff, and it's a lot of money. This is something Sean, I think it was, I can't remember if it was before 2024 or before 2023. It was at the first home match of either this past season or the one before that. I don't remember. But I ran into Sean, and he had just been to the USL owners meeting, board meeting, whatever. And I was like, how's that? And we kind of talked briefly about it's not like when Rocco would take everybody out, in New York City or whatever. I'm talking about Rocco Camaso. But he's like, really everyone loses $2 million a year. And that's everyone's kind of looking at each other like, what are we going to do? Like, how are we going to solve this? And nobody solved it.
Or in Oakland's case, you lose $10 million in
2020. Right. I think the 2 million is the standard number for basically if you are successfully monetizing your region, and you've built a competitive roster, the way the math works out right now is that you're losing about $2 million a year. Now, Oakland has had some difficulties, business difficulties that are obviously manifest when they're losing $10 million a year. But they're like us, they're planning to build a stadium. I think that they, if you've got deep enough pocketed investors, these losses really aren't massive.
Seems like they have a much more competitive market too, Sean.
Right.
The Oakland Bay Area.
Oh man. Oh yeah.
But MLS is there.
And just real estate in that area, you're talking about, you're right up against Silicon Valley there. The real estate values are jacked through the roof. Mm-hmm. So that's their problems. That's not our problems. But yeah, it's true that I don't think that this is in any way an adversarial story from Crains about Detroit City. This isn't them like going, aha, you know, they're trying to build a stadium, but they're losing money. No, this is we're putting this out there. Like, this is somebody contacting Sean, and Sean going, yeah, okay, I'll talk about this, because they want it. I think they kind of want the fan base to understand the reality, you know, of the situation. Like, look, nobody's like dancing off with bags of money right now.
Yeah, Sean, you're absolutely right. I mean, that's professional sports. I mean, you don't own, I mean, typically speaking, you don't own a professional sports team. I mean, especially you're talking about the major four, and then, or if you, I don't even want to bring in like Premier League or anything like that, because that's like an entirely different animal. But generally speaking, professional sports ownership in the United States, it's a club for billionaires to kind of flaunt their money.
Right. Well, it's a way. Yeah. You know, it's a different kind. It's a different kind. Well, I mean, you get into it to make money, but you don't make money by run rate stuff. You don't make money by having, you know, shucking and jiving and having a little, you know, we made $100,000 this year. No. You lose some money every year, but then at the end you sell the club to the next sucker for, you know, 8 times the money you lost, and walk out of town, like, you know, with the building blowing up behind you. That's the model, basically. These are assets. They can be used as tax shields. You know, they're useful to very wealthy people for that reason. And, you know, some people are into soccer. Some you know, wealthy people are like, yeah, I want to support this. But, you know, in general, I would say in America, at least, our wealthy people don't do things for public good. You know, like, let's not get it twisted. Like, they're getting well out of this somehow.
Yeah. Obviously we'll know some more we'll know more what 2024 looked like when the all general meeting, when those numbers drop out. That'll be closer to first Q1 some point 2025, which is going to come a lot sooner than we think on that. Anything else we want to talk on this one before we go to like the next piece?
I mean, you know, that is the kind of story that makes you worry about the long-term viability, right? Yeah. And I think that it would be naive to walk away from a story that says, you know, we've lost $5 million the last 2 years, and go like, you know, I mean, that's pretty tough. And the money's going to come out of somewhere, and it means that, you know, we are still minding our pennies, and, you know, everyone needs to kind of stop having fantasy football ideas about who is going to come in, you know. You know, a dude who's on the bench of a Premier team is not coming to America. Okay, a dude who's on the bench of a championship team is not coming to America. A dude who's on the bench of really any team is not coming to America. You're getting guys who are not making the game day roster, probably. So, you know, those fantasies need to just put them on pause. It's not happening.
No.
You know, we're fishing in a different pool, and you know, I think that the basic answer they're giving in the story is that the development of the stadium will allow the club to have, you know, many more revenue streams and kind of create a base of stability that they can work from. And I think they're kind of portraying it as like that will close the gap. I don't know. You know, I think it's unrealistic to expect that we're going to sell that stadium out routinely early on. You know, could we, if it's a really great venue, you know, I think attendance will jump up a little bit, because you're going to get more people who want to look at something cool like that.
Look at something cool.
But like, you know, like 9,000-10,000. You know, I don't think it's not like we're gonna go to 13,500 and like, you know. You know, I don't know. I mean, you know, we're working with such crumbs of information that it's difficult to really make an assessment of how the club is doing. But if they're putting it out there that they're losing money, which I believe that's what this story was, then they have a reason for doing that. And, you know, I don't know exactly what the reason is, but I'm guessing that part of it is just telling the supporters, like, calm down, quit thinking of ways we should spend this money. Like, we don't have a bunch of money. Calm down.
Adam, did you want to add anything?
No, I'm all set.
Tuesday. Saw the official, felt like it's been 84 years in a way. When we first got rumblings and feelings about this before the actual announcement, and that being Nate Steinwascher, Detroit City, who's a man that has been around with Detroit City since Detroit City even started playing football. 2012, Metro Detroit native, man that's grown up as the club's grown up to eventually not only just be a velvet painting, be a rock, be a cornerstone, be a Black Arrow Award winner, officially retire from professional football, calling it a career, although saying that he's not planning to be far away and all. And I know that the club is going to be doing a Legends Night event for honoring Nate and family,
Cool.
Date for this 2025 season. Sean, your forward thoughts, your reflection piece on this.
Yeah, I wrote in the piece I did about Nate that he's about kind of his remarkable cogency. When I would interview him, he would deliver these answers that were kind of a round answer. There was nothing to pick at or fuss with. You're just kind of like, okay, like it's like, reminds me a little like talking to Pete Buttigieg, like you ask a question, you get an answer, you're like, well, shit, okay, I guess that's it. Thanks. The end. Nate never had an easy time with Detroit City because he doesn't look like a traditional keeper. He's shorter than a traditional keeper. That's just it, So, when he holds his hands up, he doesn't cover as much of the goal as you expect a goalkeeper to cover when they hold their hands up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just that physical fact worked against him so constantly. I think I've talked on this show about watching him work out when I was working at the clubhouse. Like he would go in and work out. He would have people come in and shoot at him. He would come in and do do touch drills and he really, really worked on his footwork with the ball because it kind of used to be a little bit of a mess. And the guy you see now, the guy that was one of the best keepers in the USL Championship, was entirely self-made. Like, he was not freakishly gifted. He just wanted it and had a really clear idea of how he wanted to be and made himself that. And I think that's, if you're looking at young kids, like, that is a lesson that's applicable, outside of sports, is applicable everywhere. Like, that you are a plastic being. You are something that can change. You can change yourself. And through, intelligent self-direction, you can become something that you are not right now. And, Nate really exemplified that because I gotta be honest, like, when he would play in the earlier years, I was not sold on him, really. He would make great saves. He was always had great reflexes and great concentration. But I didn't think his positioning was that great. He wasn't amazing in crowds with the ball in the air, partly because of his size. His distribution was a little shitty. And he cleaned all of it up. Like, by the time we were playing in NISA, he was becoming the Nate that we saw. And he wasn't even an automatic starter in NISA, Trev basically brought in a goalkeeper every year to displace Nate, and then Nate would displace them, and we'd chug on. Like, he just kept getting better. And the fact that he has such he's already got, in the middle of a career, that he just kind of goes, okay, well, now I'm gonna be here a little bit more Like it's so smooth. He doesn't have to really transition at all. He's just like, okay, well, there's some time on my schedule now. So yeah, it's great. And I think this is the thing that we really need to be proud is happening here. I'm sure the ownership is proud that like we are seeing players retiring, and they're going to be, we're going to have those guys. We're going to have the guys in the owner's box who were all, years from now who still live here, and have been with us, all along. We're going to have like club ambassadors and shit. And, I think Nate is probably going to function in one of those roles. Because he's a guy with a lot of capability and like in business, and I think they'll find a way to use that. So exciting.
I kind of feel like they're already using that.
Yeah, exactly.
When Eric Skubal won the Cy Young Award for the Detroit Tigers, there was one Detroit City FC representative in that mesh video that was made, and that was Nate Steinwascher. That was really cool to see like that when you look at like online video game personalities, big other Detroit features, Red Wings, Lions folks, everything.
Right. Yeah, that was cool. Do you think this is something I wondered about when I watched it? When do you think they shot that retirement video? Like, did they shoot it at the end of the year, or did Nate shoot that sometime in like September and they just had it?
That's my guess.
I think
it was very weird wording too.
Right. It was very
had to clarify it.
Right. It was very kind of like, future subjunctive or something. Like, why are you saying it that way? Like, hold up a newspaper, please.
Yeah. I thought it was because that was my first thought. Is like, wait, is he coming back for one more year? Are we gonna get the Nate Steinwascher, farewell tour or something?
Yeah.
But
they should have used the Wolf of Wall Street video if they were going to do that. I'm not fucking leaving.
And it was also like what a few minute delay. Felt like 10 minutes, maybe it was less than that, of when the video dropped versus the written graphic statement, right? As opposed to maybe putting the two of them together.
Yeah, it was a little, I don't know. Social media group finding its way, I guess. But yeah, it was a little like, okay. I mean, oh wow, oh look, there's a statement now. Okay, cool. I'll read that too. And it was a fairly long statement. So it was great. I am delighted that we're at this point that we have players retiring that are retiring consciously as City players. Like, this is the club I'm retiring from. I'm going to be an emeritus dude from here on out. It's great. I'm very excited.
Could have been you, Maxie. Could have been you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I mean, I totally get wanting to try a new thing.
No, I get it too.
I do. I really do think there's a significant risk for him. Which I mean, maybe that's why. Maybe that's maybe that's exciting. But yeah, like we talked about this last week, I think, where I think that it's possible that he goes there, and it's going to be new eyes on everything. They didn't have a bad midfield this year. Like, they've got guys who can play. And is he going to be an automatic starter? I don't know. I think if he came back here, he would be. If he re-signed for us, the team would remain built around Maxie.
I will say this. Maxie, I know you listen all the time. Just go and look up Sergei Fedorov when he left the Red Wings to go play for the Ducks, and that whole trajectory that his career took. So just go look at that, because he, and if you want to get back to us, you can get back to us. But go look up Sergei Fedorov.
Yeah. For the record, I hope it goes better for Maxie than that. Just not when he plays us.
I will provide a good tease of the 451 Christmas special, and it was a topic of say a nice thing.
You don't need to provide a tease, Garrett, because 451 is going to come out before this one. So,
well, wondering, Adam
behind the
I
scenes.
was supposed to give our like thanks to Maxie and Toast, and Adam did a little bit more. It was a hard love toast.
Wow.
I want to say this though to kind of talk about, or just kind of like quickly, expand on what Sean said about Nate, because Nate is, everybody throws around the city legend thing all the time. Nate is a prototypical city legend with this club. So, and yes, I could definitely, when it came to making that jump from NISA to USL Championship, one of the biggest question marks, I think a lot of supporters, and not all of them, but a lot of them, was Nate and whether or not he's going to be able to make that transition. And ironically enough, that first game against San Antonio, he was excellent. He was excellent. And yeah, even looking back on that, that NISA fall tournament, he wasn't even on the pitch when they beat Oakland. I think that was Gene Antoine, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nate and his now wife got married around the time of the tournament.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
So he was not able to do because everyone had the quarantine, the bubble. Troy Marriott, take the bus. If I recall right, Sean, because I know you were.
I think that's right. Yeah.
You were on site cover.
But yeah, I mean, I was there, but my memory sucks. So.
Because I think he was unable to do, because he had the wedding, they're like, hey, go do the wedding, which also tells you the state of, how unique this club can be in this situation. And that was like, the Parker Siegfried started, and then.
Oh God, yeah, we got smashed by Chattanooga.
I think this is actually good in a way, and this is maybe one of our last segues of the night. We're talking about the NISA fall tournament, and as we fast forward that was of 2020, as we fast forward 4 years and a couple months later, to news that came out this morning. I think it was Michael Batista's Hudson River website put it out.
Yeah.
That there's reports coming around that NISA, or the National Independent Soccer Association, or many other things, just shenanigan and shithousery, is not going to be getting their Division III sanctioning.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a long time coming, and I think this is the thing that we predicted 3 years ago, is that as soon as the Detroit City money runs out, that NISA would cease to exist. And what do you know? This is the year that the money runs out, and that we paid off our debt to them. And that it means they can't stand up to fake clubs, which they've needed to do every year for the last 2-3 years to get to the magic number of 8 that gives them provisional accreditation or whatever it's called, and sanction. And so, yeah, I mean, rest in piss, fuckheads. Look, there was a time in my life where I was very excited about NISA, but we all are excited about a lot of things that wealthy people ruin, and NISA is just another one of those. It turns out that when you get into they talked about themselves as this open, blah, blah, blah. It was none of that shit. It was none of it.
Nope.
That was all a con. It was a grift from the beginning. They were just saying what they knew people wanted to hear to get their fucking league going. The idea being that if they got it going and it really took off, that they would assert control and be in control of a league, that they would.
Don, it was.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And it's the same thing that happens to everything in America. We are the corruption and the enshittification is completely breakneck speed now. There's nothing good can stand, right? It's got to be money's got to get in there and ruin it. And, this was an idealistic idea from Peter Wilt, and he had an idealistic partner who had a ton of money. And that partner had a heart attack and died. And the next person who picked it up was an evil grifter, millionaire. And it's the story of our age. So, NISA, good idea, but like a lot of good ideas is ruined by humanity.
It was arguably more closed, than anything else. Because this was essentially a league that was, from what I heard and saw, was ran by one person. It was Bob Friedland, the owner of the LA Force, and it was whatever he said went. And there was obviously some other influence, you would think, based on George Junkai, maybe some of his money in there. He was able, I'm assuming, able to throw his weight around a little bit based on the cash he had in the bank. But it wasn't. And to think too, Sean, Garrett, this is the league that at one point had the Miami FC, Detroit City FC, Chattanooga, Oakland Roots, New York Cosmos, and they did nothing with it. Absolutely nothing.
They actively soiled their nest from the beginning. Ran it like a fucking clown show. It came through on zero promises ever, and deserves this ending. Deserved it years ago. Yeah, frankly. And it's the zombie that has shambled forward the last couple of years has been constantly, like, those players aren't getting paid. The teams are folding in the middle of the season. Like, it's just it's anarchy. So yeah, it's sorry.
You're gonna. I think also when you look at it in the sense of NISA, like, the clubs that we talked about that are the biggest offenders in this shit, like LA Force, Michigan Stars, just to name a few, were the biggest. The biggest offenders were the ones that benefited the most. Were those that stayed in NISA and actually developed, respect, a fan culture that we can, as us, appreciate. Maryland Bobcats, a couple others, dare I say, who had one of the best seasons in league history, then be told, hey, you can't compete in the playoffs.
Yeah,
that was finally, to be fair, Maryland did have financial issues, but the timing that they chose to do it, I thought was kind of shitty.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely shitty. It was Friedland trying to get himself. I think they did win, right? Force finally won the league this year.
Yeah, after
so hey, yeah,
Michigan somehow got into the playoffs and lost to Irvine Zeta.
One thing though, too, Garrett, I don't think anybody wanted to be in NISA. You weren't in NISA because you wanted to be in NISA. You were in NISA because you had to be in NISA. George, it seemed like, was
yeah. It's just I think it's telling that the clubs that got constantly got favors from the league were the ones that were owned by, like, kind of right-wing assholes. And that was, and we were not in that club. And the clubs that had an actual following, because those guys are like borderline belligerent to the possibility of support. Like, LA Force just wouldn't sell tickets, right? They just were. Friedland's like, no, we're not doing that. Okay,
you wouldn't know where they would. They had 5 different venues,
right? And the Stars sold tickets, but would you notice? Like, it's like George's way of making his family pay to come watch. Okay. How many tickets are you selling to games that aren't against Detroit City? Like, probably not very fucking many.
They're giving away tickets to the championship game.
Like, I don't know. Like, it feels in some ways kind of bad to kick NISA, but it was so bad. Like, it was so, we put so much hope into it and got paid back by just, like, a steady series of Rochambeau. And and like, okay, well, you guys suck, and like, were the boots necessary? So.
We're not going to do a commiseration toast to NISA or anything like that. Yeah. We when we were there, we pillared. We took trophies that were made, even though they were sometimes the same trophy because they couldn't afford another trophy, amongst other things. Fuck off, NISA.
Yeah. We do not mourn you.
you are now in line with the ghost of cities past.
Mm-hmm.
To paraphrase.
I mean, it looks like the NPSL may follow before too long.
With
they're having trouble.
Clubs that's going on.
Yeah. My timer is do be a ringing.
Last thing that we'll say, and maybe we can talk about it more the next time. Grand Rapids has seemed to have the most soccer development on Tuesday, but to quote a wrestling, Adam and I are going to channel Wrestling Free Wrestling promo. Grand Rapids fears Detroit City FC, hence why it's MLS Next Pro and MWL, not a USL affiliate. We'll see you in Open Cup 27.
Yeah. I mean, like, the fact that it's owned by the Van Andel and DeVos families, the Amway families, is just chef's kiss. Of course it fucking is. And, like, yeah, all right, well, I don't have any problem hating you. Cool.
Want
Yeah.
me to drop the where you can find us?
Let's do it.
Hit it.
All right. Make sure you check out I was thinking Sean as well. Words About Shapes, patreon.com/words about shapes, not the words about shapes, words about shapes. Patreon.com/words about shapes. The best Detroit City blog out there. Yep, $3 a month. Go check it out. Must read if you're
We're absolutely not going to talk about whether it's also the only Detroit City blog out there. We're not going to talk about that.
Yes. No. Also, the Majors Detroit, Detroit at themajorsports.com, 451 at themajorsports.com. A lot of good stuff over there as well. Also, make sure you like, subscribe, leave a 5-star review for the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. Helps bump us up in that algorithm. Find me at TMSNX Adam on Twitter, Blue Sky, so on and so forth. Garrett, go ahead.
Sean Spence, you can find him at skilledschaping.bsky.social, skilledschaping@gmail.com, because Sean, you do love a good email from time to time.
Boy, I do.
And you can find me Twitter, Instagram, Discord at GM Comats, Blue Sky, gmcomats.bsky.social, and also on YouTube, because I've been sending Adam a fuck ton of mulleting videos these last couple of weeks. So with that being said, that's going to be the last episode before Big Jesus and as we say here, our 2024 stuff. So from all of us here, Sean Spence, Adam Hernandez, Garrett Comats here, to wherever you're at, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, everyone, whatever you are going to be celebrating this holiday season. We can see you after that. And yeah, until next time. Cheers. See ya.